Hello, my name is Clipper Miller, and I had the opportunity to do a presentation over one of the philosophers that we learned about in our Introduction to Philosophy class with Professor Hulsey. The philosopher I chose was John Locke. He was one of my favorite philosophers for a couple of reasons, and we'll get into that in a little bit. John Locke was an empiricist, and what that essentially meant was that he differed from earlier philosophers such as Descartes. Descartes believed that we had innate ideas when we were born, that they were ideas that were already present in our minds at the time of our birth and that continued throughout our life. John Locke took another approach, and he believed that we were tabula rasa, or blank slates, when we were born, and that the knowledge that we acquired throughout life is things that we learned through our experiences. John Locke had some he believed that there were different ideas, there were different types of ideas. He categorized ideas into two different areas. One of them was simple ideas. Simple ideas were things like whether or not an object was solid or what color it is. Usually things that could be picked up upon by our sensory data, and usually something that could be understood very quickly. If somebody didn't understand the idea of fluidity, they could place their hand in water and understand exactly what that means. So in addition to that, he also believed in complex ideas. Complex ideas were compounds of simple ideas. It might be a comparison where we're talking about one object being bigger or smaller than another, or faster than another, or it could be even deeper complex ideas. For example, beauty, something that doesn't really exist except in our perception and our opinion. Likewise, John Locke also divided qualities into two separate categories. There were the primary qualities, and that would include an object's weight, its size, its shape, its texture. And there were secondary qualities. For example, an object's color, or an object, or the way that something tastes, or maybe the noise or the sound that something makes. And again, these are things that don't necessarily exist in reality as much as they exist in our perception, in the way that we believe that something tastes, or the color that we perceive when we look at an object. So, John Locke also had some influence in our political system. He believed that there were certain basic rights that were God-given rights that we held. Among those rights were the right to life, the right to health, and the right to have property. These are some things that can be echoed whenever you look at our Declaration of Independence, where it says that we believe that we were granted by our Creator certain inalienable rights, and among these, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So, John Locke also believed that the government is there to protect people. He differed from Thomas Hobbes, who believed that the government was a necessary evil. Hobbes also believed that there's never a good reason for revolt. Locke's belief was contrary to that. He believed that the government was there to protect the people, and at the time that the government quit protecting the people, that it was actually right to revolt against the government. So as you can see, John Locke has had a significant impact in our world and our beliefs, and particularly in our way of government and way of life here in the United States.